Hi, welcome back to the Lighthouse Addiction Topic Show. Today we are discussing, we are interviewing one of our very own alumni. His name is Derek. Welcome.
Hello,
and
everyone.
we're going to be discussing on how to build a life in recovery away from home. So welcome, Derek. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Derek. I've actually grew up in Orange County. I relocated to Seattle. And I've recently come back these last few years for recovery and to change my life.
Would you consider Seattle your home base? Because I know you often go there to visit family and things like that.
No. I was there for quite some time.
But so you established a life out there.
Yes, I did.
So it was home for a very long time.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
And what brought you to the White House?
Bad choices. Just like most of us, my addiction took me to a dark hole. And I knew that I didn't want to go back down that hole after some recovery, after moving back. And the best thing for me was to get reconnected with a program that I knew that worked when I worked it, and it didn't when I didn't. And that's what got me there.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about relocating to seek recovery. So what are some challenges that you've had to face, or do you want to give us a little bit about a background on you having to relocate?
A little bit of background. At a young age, I was under my addiction, my disease, because it is deceased to me now. It's dead. I thought I'd do the geographic thing and move away. But with my personality and the life and the choices I was making, I knew I just ended up finding it. So moving away didn't help any. But so I went to Seattle, started a whole new life, and just when things were getting good, my addiction took over again. And I knew that I had friends and family that supported me through the good and bad out here, and some childhood friends that were part of the program, and I saw their life change. And I reached out, and I humbled myself and asked for help, because no matter what I didn't work. And, like they say, it was the last thing I tried and the only thing that helped. And
I like that. I've never heard that before.
So I came back here, and it was the best decision I've ever made.
Good for you. Yeah. We're very proud of you here at the White House.
Thank you.
You've done really amazing things for yourself. So what are some challenges of having to relocate?
Well, creating a new life in another state, friends and family, letting go, but understanding that I wasn't letting go forever. I was letting go to find myself, because I was so lost that it got to the point where I wasn't welcomed around anymore, and I was just isolating myself. I felt alone. So, as an addict, I'm very selfish. So I take my recovery and my new life very serious, and I'm very selfish because I'm here to save my life.
Yeah.
And coming back home worse than when I left, 20-something years later, was one of the challenges that I had to overcome, because I was embarrassed, ashamed, lonely, obviously. But through the grace of God, I was able to get through that.
I remember shortly after you completed the program at the White House, you went to go have a visit back at home, right, in Seattle?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience? What are some challenges and some uplifting moments that you faced, if any?
Well, there wasn't really any challenges. It was more excitement. I don't call them challenges anymore. I call them opportunities. It was an opportunity for me to go back and show friends and family that I've changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm making good choices, but first and foremost, I put God in my life, and without Him, none of this is possible. And it felt really good because it was open arms. I always knew they loved me, that tough love. But this time around, it was something different. I was at peace in my heart. I have clear thoughts now, and I have specific goals, and I have a purpose now. And so it was more home welcoming.
Yeah.
And, the attitude of gratitude, the amends, you know.
Did you make amends?
Absolutely. That's part of the program.
Yeah.
So instead of doing it over the phone or on video chat, I thought it'd be more sincere and important to me personally to do it face to face.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many miles it is. I think it just helped me push through it more, you know. So that's just where that was. It's really good.
I think definitely when you make very genuine changes in your life and you're very sincere about your recovery, it radiates from you. And I'm sure that's why it was you were very well received when you went back home. I'm sure they felt that from you.
Absolutely. I call that synergy.
Synergy.
Yeah. Energy from within.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that.
Just the harmonic vibe that, you know, people give, you know, when I was making bad choices, which they were, my demeanor told that before people even spoke to me. They just saw my demeanor. They saw that negative energy, that negative vibe that I portrayed.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I focus in on. You know?
Well, I'm a big believer in energies, and I know sometimes people get out of treatment, they try to go back home, and they're not working a program, or they're not where they really want to be, but then they start trying to convince their family and loved ones, like, look at me, I'm doing well, I'm doing better, look at me grow, you know?
Yes.
But really, their energies really express the truth if they're not working a program or really genuinely working on themselves. So good for you.
Absolutely. I take it to another level to where it's, well, which the program has taught me, that actions speak louder than words. Because through my, you know, addiction, you know, I said sorries and I won't do it again and it won't happen again. And, you know, a little bit of food and a little bit of rest will make anyone glow, you know, but it's doing the steps and giving God orderly direction and doing the right thing. Because you can do the right thing, you know, or you could be doing things right, but are you really doing the right thing? So
what are some of the things that you do to stay grounded in your new home? So you've now relocated to next to the Lighthouse, nearby the Lighthouse, right?
Correct.
So I'm sure that just the moving process in general could be a little bit chaotic. So what are some of the things that you've done to settle in and stay grounded?
What I've done to settle in to stay grounded, first and foremost, I stay connected now.
Yeah, you do.
Very connected. I only associate with people that are doing the same things I'm doing, which are positive things that are trying to not only change their life, but help others change their life. What's really helped me, though, is that there's an alumni family that I can lean on now. There's people that I can depend on. When people say they're going to be there, they're going to be there. And just hopefully my word is the same. It's out of loving, caring, and understanding that the camaraderie is really peaceful.
Yeah.
Knowing that I have people, only quality people in my life now, besides my immediate family.
Yeah.
The alumni now is my second family.
How were you able to establish these connections with these new people in sobriety?
I pray every day to God to put quality people in my life.
Yeah, I like
godly
that.
men and women in my life, and that's just who I associate with now. You know, people that are always striving to exceed their goals, not just to meet them, to exceed them. You know, and I always have that saying, you know, you never look down on a person unless you plan on picking them up. You know, and it's just a journey now that we get to see each other grow. You know, words can't really describe it. You know, you just kind of got to live this life now.
Yeah.
And that's just what I do.
What are some benefits of you moving near the Lighthouse or relocating for sobriety in general?
Some of the benefits, oh, there's so many. One is that I know that there's that anytime something's on my mind, I want to talk about it, good or bad. There's always alumni family that's willing to listen, not criticize, not judge, not give an opinion, but allow me to express what's on my mind and just, you know, get it off my chest. Because sometimes I just need to just be heard.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true. Sometimes we all need
a
listening ear.
Exactly, you know, and that's really important to me. And part of the transition, what's helped me stay close to theirs, I want them to depend on me to where if something needs to get done, they can call me. Anyone can call me, and if I can help in some type of way, then I will. You know, as part of, you know, part of the program, you got to give back.
And in a big way, you become a leader at this. Not only are you succeeding in your job, you're succeeding at the place that you're living with the other men that you live with. It's amazing.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So, do you have any advice you'd like to give to loved ones or family members of a struggling alcoholic?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I just want them to understand that their loved one is the drugs. It's not them. It's not really who they are. It's the chemicals that they're putting in their body that makes their irrational decisions or make their irrational decisions. Do not be an enabler. Love them, but do not enable them. And it's hard because no one wants to see a loved one go through the things we go through. But you have to really sit down and ask yourself, am I enabling them? From the simple fact of everyone's bottom's different. Everyone's bottom's different.
Yeah, that's the
and
truth.
sometimes some people have to hit rock bottom, and that's where tough love comes in. Help them, but don't hinder them. Love them, don't hate them, but don't make excuses for them as well. And if they need help, provide some type of help. Don't force it on them, because I know in my addictions, when my loved ones recommended it, or I felt forced, or you know, I felt cornered, all I wanted to do was just run.
Yeah.
You know,
you get resistant.
Exactly. You know, and be there for them. Strongly encourage them when they're doing things right, you know, and just be there for them. You know.
Thank you. And do you have any advice you'd like to give to somebody who's currently struggling themselves with an addiction or alcoholism?
Absolutely. It's possible. From the life that I've lived and the bad choices I've made from the age of 10 to where I am now, it's possible. You're worth it. Your self-value, your self-respect. You might not see it in your addiction. You might not see it right now, but there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. You got to believe you can have a better life. You know, for myself, as you know, they say, you know, you continue doing the things you're doing, you're going to continue getting the things you get. And the one thing that helped me in my recovery was I found a higher power, which I call God now. I was able to forgive myself.
That's huge.
And you just have to be able to forgive yourself. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it's absolutely worth it. And it's probably going to be the hardest thing. Well, I can't say you. It was the hardest thing for me to do was to look myself in the mirror and say, it's going to be okay. I'm forgiving myself. And the only way to make it right is by making myself right. And everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you so much. Those
Thank
are
you.
very powerful and inspiring words. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys later.